think boxing-wise, he's going to give Canelo fits. Don't believe he can hurt Canelo. Just believe that Crawford hasn't been in the ring with anybody this powerful.
Things just need to be left unsaid. I understand he's articulating like his point of view, like, look, this is all natural work. We're just working hard at it. We're doing X, Y, Z.
You always wonder, will people say that, no, Canelo was going down and he had had enough, that there might be an excuse for that. So.
Stephen A. Smith highlights Canelo Alvarez's noticeably larger frame ahead of his clash with Terence Crawford, stressing that the size difference could impact the outcome. While he acknowledges Crawford as the more skilled fighter, he warns that if Crawford lacks the power to hurt Canelo, it could create serious issues. Smith's remarks emphasize concerns over the physical disparity and its potential effect on this highly anticipated showdown.
But I think my initial reaction would be to say that I think that Crawford would be the superior boxer, as great as Canelo is, as seasoned as he is, with 65 fights, if I recall, on his record. I think boxing-wise, he's going to give Canelo fits. Don't believe he can hurt Canelo. But just believe that Crawford hasn't been in the ring with anybody this powerful. Again, Crawford is the superior boxer. But if he can't hurt Canelo, you can't keep him off of him. He says it's a legacy fight, and he believes he can do the same, and he wants to do the same against a fighter the caliber of Canelo Alvarez, which is why we haven't really seen him in the ring against anybody else. Fortunately, that's the business of boxing. He's a victim of it.
Eddie Reynoso, the longtime trainer of Canelo Alvarez, has addressed past allegations regarding performance-enhancing substances in boxing. Accused of permitting or supplying such substances to fighters in his camp, Reynoso firmly rejects these claims. He clarified that his fighters, including Canelo, manage their own nutrition and that he has no role in their diets. His statement carries weight ahead of the Crawford bout, as speculation often rises when a fighter shows clear physical or performance improvements. Reynoso stresses that his focus is strictly on training, skill development, and mental preparation, distancing himself from nutrition or supplement use.
Reynoso says, starting now, I'll be working 100% with a team that I can supervise. I've let the boxers who have come to me to train have their own nutrition team. So all of these fighters popping because of their nutrition team. Eddie Reynoso is guilty by association, so you have to clear the shit up. That's what I was saying about Victor Conte when he came with his transparency. I'm doing the same now with Eddie Reynoso. He knows he has to clean that shit up. I suggest to Eddie Reynoso, if you're going to be 100% in control of the nutrition team, join Snack. They got hyper-exfoliated, futuristic, hyperbolic change. Get Nello on Snack. Hey, brother, Nello on Snack with the futuristic 1.121 gigawatt, brother, wait.
Though Eddie Reynoso has worked with several fighters, reportedly 7, who tested positive for banned substances, he insists this has no connection to Canelo Alvarez. Reynoso maintains that each case is independent and that every fighter is accountable for what they take. Speaking on Canelo, he affirms the champion has always maintained a clean regimen and exercised great caution with both his diet and supplements.
Boxing corruption at its absolute finest, but how does it connect to Eddie Reynoso and Canelo team? So Rodriguez Jr. failed his test after the Galal fight. He set the record for the most punches landed in that fight. It even prompted people like Sonny Edwards during the fight to say, this is weird. And yet, he will not be punished. In fact, he'll be kind of rewarded because he's going to get ordered an immediate rematch for the WBC belt. The only thing he's got to do is have a 12-month probation period with random testing. Now, WB are doing this because they have ruled it proven unintentional use. It just so happened he took stuff that was extremely beneficial to his conditioning. Here is the WBC official statement. Feel free to pause this and read it. But what's it got to do with these two fine gentlemen? Well, Rodriguez Jr. is part of Canelo team, and he was rumoured to be managed by Eddie Reynoso. Eddie Reynoso since came out and said, no, I don't manage him, blah, 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 and he distanced himself. Now, why that's important is because Eddie Reynoso has been connected to, I think now, 6 or 7 fighters who have all failed their drugs tests. The rumour around town, and this is just a rumour, and definitely not true, is that these two may have smoothed things over with the WBC, maybe used their position of power to get Rodriguez Jr. a bit of a lenient sentence, put it that way. Again, that's not true, I've just completely made that up. But what is unbelievable is a fighter nowadays can actually fail a drugs test and not be punished whatsoever. In fact, can be rewarded. unbelievable.
Terence Crawford's strength coach has issued a bold prediction ahead of the Canelo-Alvarez showdown, declaring that Crawford will take control of the fight and stressing the team's complete readiness. He expressed confidence that Crawford's power, conditioning, and relentless work ethic can offset Canelo's size and experience. The coach noted that their training has been precisely designed to develop both strength and endurance, preparing Crawford to compete with Canelo in every aspect. His statement has fueled the anticipation, as fans debate whether Crawford's power at a higher weight can truly test an experienced champion like Canelo.
Listen, I get a lot of texts asking how I'm doing, how camp is going, so I figured I could just put it up in one post. So I'm in the mountains. This dude's about to beat the brakes off Canelo and be the greatest boxer of all time, and I get to play a part in it. All is well, truly well. We good. I'm good.
A growing number of boxing fans argue that Terence Crawford will dominate Canelo Alvarez, framing the matchup as anything but a 50-50 fight. This has raised concerns that Canelo's accomplishments are being overlooked. His supporters emphasize that he remains the premier Mexican fighter of his generation, a multi-division champion who has taken on many of the sport's biggest names. While Crawford's talent is undeniable, disregarding Canelo means ignoring his proven success against elite competition. Ultimately, this fight is about more than belts, it's also about earning and reaffirming respect in the boxing world.
Standard size, I think Bud beats his ass all around the ring for 12 rounds. If Canelo want to come forward and get the whooping, that's what he gonna get. But that's the thing, in that last Skull fight, he didn't want to take the fight to Skull. So if Canelo don't come to fight, I don't want to see Crawford stand in the middle of the ring and take that type of risk. Because Crawford, he talk about retirement, but he can still go on after this. So he ain't got to take that punishment. He can run it back with him. I don't want Crawford forced into a dogfight with Canelo. No, I think he gonna whoop his ass off. So
veteran broadcaster Jim Gray weighed in on the matchup, describing it as a thrilling clash between two fighters with exceptional careers. He commended Canelo Alvarez for his sustained success across multiple weight divisions and likewise acknowledged Terence Crawford for his dominance in his own. Gray's even-handed perspective reflects the respect both men command in boxing. He emphasized that this fight goes beyond championships, it's an opportunity for each to solidify his legacy in the sport's history.
We want to see the best fight the best. And even though there's been a difference in weight divisions here, I think that, people clamor for big names and big fights and guys who are great to fight each other. So being for the institution, and I am for the institution of boxing, I think Canelo has been great for boxing. And I think Terence Crawford has been great for boxing. So how this is going to play out exactly, I don't know. Terence Crawford is older, and Canelo has, twice as many rounds? So I don't know how that combination ends up. The weight difference. Canelo's going to be a bigger man and a bigger frame and coming up in that weight. So I think it's just going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be at the Allegiant Stadium where the Raiders play, and it's going to be filled up, and we're going to have a huge, huge night for boxing for the world to see.
One follow-up. Do you feel like Terence Crawford has the style to cause Canelo problems?
Does he have the style to what?
Cause Canelo problems.
Terence Crawford's a great fighter. Terence Crawford can give anybody problems. Whether or not he will, I don't have that crystal ball. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see.
Respected trainer Abel Sanchez has cast strong doubts on Crawford's chances, pointing to the significant size difference between the two. He stressed that weight divisions exist for a reason and that while skill is crucial, natural size and strength carry great importance. Sanchez argued that Canelo's power at his natural weight will pose a serious obstacle for Crawford as he moves up to face him. He added that even a fighter as gifted as Crawford may find it difficult to overcome such physical disadvantages in this bout.
As everybody has opinions, and my opinion is that I think Canelo will be too big for him. I think Crawford needed a little more seasoning, a little more seasoning of his weight, that is. He's had a year and hasn't had really any fights against those caliber fighters. The last fight he had a 154-pounder, moved up one division and had a difficult time in a way that he wasn't dominating as he did in the lower divisions. You talk about a guy in Canelo whose really only bad outing was the Bivol fight. And Bivol, when I first talked about that fight, when they asked me, Bivol is a Gennady Golovkin just 15 pounds heavier. Same skills, maybe not the punching power, but very skilled. So anybody below 75, Canelo is dominated easily. After the 5th or 6th round, it seems to be sparring sessions for him. So I think that he does very well, and I think he wears Crawford out and wins a going away decision. Crawford is an all-time great, obviously, but there's weight divisions, you know.
Definitely as well. Abel, I'll leave it there, but I'll leave you with the final words. Any final words for the fans? Waiting to see you in the corner on Saturday night, my friend.
I'm very happy to be back. I retired for...
Legendary ring announcer Jimmy Lennon Jr. suggested that in fights like this, the naturally bigger man usually holds the advantage, giving Canelo Alvarez the edge. At the same time, he noted that Canelo hasn't looked as dominant in some of his recent outings, which could present an opportunity for Crawford. His view underscores that while size matters, recent form and strategy can still play a decisive role in the outcome.
Super fight in September, how do you see that fight playing out? Who are you leaning towards? Who wins that fight?
Yeah, I tell you, I tend to always think the naturally bigger fighter is going to have an advantage. I'm just, with the Crawford moving up, he was a 135-pound champion. And had 40, a fantastic champion. 47 then, and then 54. Is 68 too much? That's really a big jump. But I tell you, a lot of people I respect just say, no, he's going to be favored on that.
Wow.
So I don't know what to say, but Canelo's a great fighter and a smart fighter, and two fighters in the pound from down west, getting it on. That's nice for boxing.
And if Crawford is successful, where would you place him in the all-time greats? Does he belong in the top 10, or you've seen so many fighters come across?
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one to say. But certainly he should be considered. He should be in that discussion, and people could argue that either way for a while. But yeah, if he does it, you always wonder. Will people say that no, Canelo was going down and he had had enough? That there might be an excuse for that. So,
yes.
We'll see, but it'd be quite a feat if he does beat Canelo. That'd be...
Unbeaten champion Shakur Stevenson has voiced strong confidence in Terence Crawford's abilities, calling him the best in his division and backing his skills to take on a bigger, stronger opponent like Canelo Alvarez. Stevenson's endorsement holds weight given his own status as a respected fighter. His remarks underline the high regard Crawford commands among elite boxers and reinforce the idea that size alone won't decide this clash. Many in the sport share this view, seeing Crawford as a genuine threat and adding to the excitement surrounding one of boxing's most anticipated matchups.
You first heard about this idea when you first heard about it. What did you think of this idea of Bud going up to 68 to fight Canelo?
I ain't gonna lie, I've been putting it out since, I want to say, when he fought Sean Porter. Like back then, if you go watch, it's an interview out there. I had said I think that Terence Crawford would beat Canelo Alvarez right after he fought Sean Porter. So the idea, I've been thinking about it. I've been saying it before Bud even was saying it.
Why were you saying it then? Like that was what, a few years ago? Was he 160 or 168 at that point? But why did you believe then that was the right fight?
Because I just knew, like, as far as in that weight class, Terence Crawford is like the greatest. So I just feel as though with Canelo's style and like the style of boxing that he got, I think and this is before Bivol did it, but I thought like Terence Crawford was the only guy who I felt as though could have beat Canelo with his style.
So tell me if you think I'm wrong here. Like I might have been more confident after the Spence fight when he threw a lot of right hands in that fight, was aggressive. Against Madrimov, he didn't throw a lot of right hands in that fight. And I've been saying for years that the only way to beat Canelo Alvarez, throw right hands. Gennady Golovkin did it, almost beat him, should have beat him the first time around. Dmitry Bivol did it in their fight. Other guys tend to try to jab him to death. I don't think you can win fights.
I was about to say, I disagree with you.
Former world champion Sean Porter offered his take on Terence Crawford's physical adjustments ahead of the Canelo Alvarez fight. After seeing Crawford up close, Porter noted his legs looked particularly strong, well-developed, and powerful, evidence of targeted lower body training. He observed that Crawford's weight gain appeared balanced, with no disproportion between upper and lower body, showing careful conditioning and nutrition. Porter also emphasized that despite the added size, Crawford's speed and agility remained intact, an impressive accomplishment when moving up in weight. He believes maintaining that quickness while adding strength could give Crawford a crucial edge against Canelo, especially if he relies on movement to neutralize the champion's size and power. Porter's remarks reinforce the idea that Crawford's camp has executed a disciplined, well-planned strategy to maximize performance on fight night.
One reason you give Crawford a good chance at winning this fight is talking about Canelo has to have his feet set to deliver his power shots. Crawford making him pick his feet up. At 38 years old, putting on 14 pounds to go from 54 to 68, 38 years old, do you think his legs will be able to have the advantage that people that are picking him and thinking he could win this fight, will they have the advantage that they believe he will have at 38, putting on 14 pounds to those legs?
I looked at my business partner Malcolm while we were there. I said, "Yo, look at his legs." He said, "Yeah." He said, "Yeah." I said, "They're thick. They're in shape. They look very strong." If anybody out there that want to act funny about what I just said, that's my job as a former athlete, as an analyst. I have to analyze everything, right? So I have to analyze how's his weight now distributed across your body.
His body, right?
Is it distributed a little too much right here in the midsection? Are the legs too thick? And now I'm not seeing the muscle pop and things of that nature. The dude is doing all of the right things. They have something called the incline in Colorado Springs. So just in case you don't know, Colorado Springs is about 6,000, a little bit more than 6,000 feet in the air, right? So it's above the altitude. I don't know where Vegas is. Vegas is around 1,000.
A rising narrative among boxing fans suggests that Terence Crawford will dominate Canelo Alvarez, with many refusing to view it as a true 50-50 fight. This has sparked what some consider outright disrespect toward Canelo's legacy. His supporters contend that he remains the greatest Mexican fighter of his era, a multi-division champion who has faced some of the sport's toughest opponents. While Crawford is undeniably a rare talent, writing off Canelo disregards his proven success against elite competition. As a result, this fight is about more than just titles, it's also about restoring and affirming respect in the boxing world.
So look, I'm going to get my prediction. I don't want this video to be long. Typically my videos be like 20, 25 minutes long. I get deep on this shit. I'm going to keep it real. I think y'all are out of your fucking minds. Y'all are out of your fucking minds. Look, if you want to say, I think Bud Crawford has the opportunity to win this fight, don't count him out. I don't disagree with that at all. I would say don't never count Bud out. I would say that. Never count Bud out. If y'all say this is a 50-50 fight, I'm not mad at that at all. Yeah. You think it's a 50-50 fight? Y'all, people are saying it's not even going to be a 50-50 fight. That Canelo is going to get smoked. And I think y'all are out of your fucking minds. Canelo needs to walk out to Roy Jones. You must have forgot. Y'all, this is arguably not only the greatest Mexican fighter of all time, but this is arguably one of the greatest fighters ever. And y'all are acting like Canelo is some kind of fucking pushover. Like he's some kind of stepping stone. I've never seen nothing like it. I have never seen a boxer so accomplished get shitted on in every fucking prediction video I'm seeing. It's madness. My prediction right now, Canelo wins this fight. I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. Y'all got shit fucked up. y'all, bro, Canelo wins this fight.
That's it for today's video. Make sure to stay tuned for more updates. See you in the next one.